Okay, this video is to summarize investigation 4B. So 4B, we went through three important things, ideas here. Number one is writing the equation from a point and a slope. Second important item is to sketch a graph from an equation, and last one is overtaken. So let's go over the first point, first item. That's writing an equation from a point and a slope. So let's say we have some point like whatever, 4 and -2, and let's say slope is -4/7 or something. Um, then we know that slope is -4/7. And we know that from our slope formula, we know that if we have 2 points, we have y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 equals the slope. So in this case, we only have one point here, so we're going to use another generic form, which is x and y. So we'll do the same thing. Let's say this is the second point, so the second y will be y minus first y in the first point, which is -2, over second x, which is x coordinate of the second point, minus x sub 1, which is first x, which is 4. And that has to be equal to the slope. In this case, it's -4/7. So we have y plus 2 over x minus 4 equals -4/7. But the problem with this form, again, is we can't really put we can't put 4 here, because if we put 4 here, we'll have 4 minus 4. Then the problem will be 4 minus 4 will be 0, and right here, if this is 4, it will be 4 minus 4, and then the entire denominator will be 0. We cannot have 0 in the denominator because it's undefined. Therefore, we will multiply both sides by x minus 4. And we're going to multiply this by x minus 4, so that, the long story short, we can cancel this guy by this guy. So to the left side we have y plus 2 equals -4/7 times x minus 4. Okay? So that's the first point. Second point is sketch the graph of an equation. So let's take the same equation, for example. Let's say we have, from the previous problem, we have, wait a minute, this is 2. We had y minus, what did we get up there? Y plus 2 equals -7/4 times x minus 4. So, so the basic graph of this one is y equals, so the basic graph of this one is y equals -7/4x. And the -7/4, that's the slope part. So we'll have -7/4. That could be either -7/4 or 7/4. Okay? So as we know, the numerator is the rise and denominator is the run. Or we just simply can put some numbers in there. So we have y equals negative 7 over 4 times x. If the x equals 0, we have y equals negative 7 over 4 times 0, which is y equals 0. So first point we can have is 0, 0. Okay? And then the next second point will be probably 4 because the denominator is 4, so that you can cancel out. If we plug that in, we have y equals negative 7 over 4 times 4. And long story short, we can cancel this out, so y equals negative 7. Now we found the second point, which is 4 and negative 7. So let's plot the original line, which is 4, negative 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's 4 and negative 7. And another point is right there, which is 0, 0. And if you draw a line, let's hope that I can do it. Where is the line? Right here. You draw a line. Alright, I'm doing a horrible job, but assume that this is a straight line. So that's the original line. But what we really want to do is, what we really want to sketch the graph is this graph. So now I want you to realize that right here we are adding 2 to y, and we are subtracting 4 from y. And I want you to remember, remember the very important conjecture. Let me just write it here. Add some number to y makes the graph, shifts the graph downward, and add some number to x value, x coordinates, to x, shifts the graph to the left. If you subtract, the opposite happens. So if you subtract from y, then the graph will go up, and then if you subtract x, the graph will go to the right. So now this here, we have y plus 2, so we are adding 2. Therefore, the new line, our new line will be, so that each point will be, so this point will be 2 down, 1, 2, and 4 to the right. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So the origin will move down there. And then at this point right here, this will do the same thing. So you go 2 down and move down to 4 right here. Now, yeah, this is an awful graph, but you know what I'm talking about. So you will shift that. So although this looks really complicated, this equation looks complicated, but you know what the basic graph is, and you know what each number means. So that's how you sketch the graph. Finally, overtaken. This is the example that we used in the class. You have to be able to pull out lots of information from here. So for example, right here, this is the time when Tony started. So that's a 0, 0. This 0 implies that it's a 0 hour, and then the y coordinate implies that means the miles, so it's 0 miles. This point, what does this mean, right? So the coordinate of this one is 0.5 and 0. That means it's half an hour, because the x coordinate means the hour, as we see here. So that's half an hour and 0. That means Sasha started half an hour after Tony started, right? And this intersecting point right here, this is the time that overtaking is happening right now. Sasha was behind, but at this point, Sasha overtook Tony right there. Okay, and then on the distance time graph, the time always has to be on the horizontal axis right here. Never ever have time on vertical axis right here in the distance time graph. And in a distance time graph, slope represents the speed. Therefore, the steeper the line is, the faster the person travels. So that's another important thing. And if you look at this point, let's say 8 miles is the goal, then you compare these 2 points. This is 2 and 8. This point will be, I would say, maybe 1.75 or maybe 1.80, 1.8 and 8. Okay, I want you to think about each coordinate and what it really means. So this 2 means 2 hours and this 8 means 8 miles. That means Tony took 8 hours, I mean not 8 hours, I'm sorry, 2 hours to get to the 8 miles point. On the other hand, Sasha actually took less than 2 hours, which is 1.8 hours, in order to get to the same point, which is 8 miles hour. So on the distance time graph, I want you to really think about what each x coordinate and y coordinate means in the context. And this is the summary of investigation 4 points, investigation 4B.